The training was amazing, life-changing to say the least. I was a little nervous after taking your course on the way home about the talk that I was going to have with my kids, because I knew after hearing that I was going to have the testimonials and things that the 17, 18, and 19-year-olds had about if they could go back, they wish they had someone that cared about them enough to have that conversation. It was no-brainer. I knew it was going to have to happen. I get home, did it actually at dinner, had to talk with my kids, and it was amazing how they opened up just by me asking the questions. What do you know about this topic? What have you heard about it? Are your friends doing it? Have you ever watched it? And it was just immediate, the outpouring, the response. It's like they were waiting for someone to ask them that question, to talk to them about it. Just had so many questions about it, wanted to know the damaging effects of it, how it could impact them. It was amazing. It was beautiful, actually.
And I think every parent there needed that, because talking about that sort of stuff is not easy. So you definitely help pave a way for conversations to happen between parents and their children.
I know that we're supposed to protect our kids, but we do them a huge disservice when we don't have that conversation and when we don't ask them about who their friends are, or what they're doing at sleepovers. We have to put ourselves out there and be comfortable being uncomfortable when it comes to the safety and security of our children. I just want to commend you and the Third Talk. I think your program is well deserved, and it's something that should be featured in every high school and middle school across America.
Flat out, just having the ability to realize you need to have a conversation. We're not addressing an issue that probably has been silent for many, many years. And so that part of the conversation and that discussion, I think, was absolutely phenomenal.
I knew my guy friends were watching it by the time they were like 11, 12. My parents, they didn't talk to my brother because they didn't think they needed to, but they did. His friends show him porn at lunch.
I got my first iPod Touch when I was 8.5 years old. My parents thought that they were doing everything right. And looking back, I think I severely regret that purchase, because at the age of 9, I became fully addicted to pornography.
I was first introduced to porn at the age of 12. I quickly became addicted to it. It was, in many ways, my version of sex ed.
I'm not proud of the thoughts that I've had when I've watched pornography and how it's made my view of girls very unhealthy.
Talking about this in the long term builds up much stronger relationships and builds connection in families that's much deeper than just this unsaid taboo living in the background. And it's imperative for parents to start doing that.
I wish that there had been someone in my life that I could have just talked about what I just saw, what that meant, what feelings came up. And I was a kid, I wouldn't know any better. I wouldn't know what to do with that information. I wouldn't know how to process that, because the things that I was seeing it's not for children.
I wish that somebody would have talked to me about the effects of pornography, and if somebody had just taken the time to talk to me, it would have saved me a lot of heartache and a lot of abuse and a lot of trauma that I should not have had to go through. And I get it, it's uncomfortable. I would have been incredibly uncomfortable if my father had started talking to me about it. But I was much more uncomfortable when I was sexually assaulted, and I thought that that was okay.
There have been thousands of documents of research that have gone to show how pornography has been used by human traffickers, by child predators, to groom children into being more open to have sex with them. Just the fact that I know that your kids are going through this, and that if you don't do something, your kids are going to be affected for the rest of their lives. You need to talk to them. You need to open the conversation, because they're too filled with shame and guilt and regret to ever come to you about it.
I want parents to know that it's not just children who live in bad neighborhoods. It's not just kids who have bad parents. Kids can find this anywhere. Kids can find porn anywhere. And we have to tell our kids, we have to teach our kids why this is wrong. This is not what love is. This is not what sex is.
This is not I have a bad kid or I'm a bad parent. This is all of us. What do we do about that? it feels like it's an impossible task. It feels like something that there's no way that we could possibly do. And I want you to know that nothing could be further from the truth. Not only is it possible, but it's happening. It's happening. We are having these conversations very, very successfully.
Hello, my name is Dr. Robert Taylor, and I'm the Deputy Superintendent of School and Student Advancement in the North Carolina Department of Public Instruction. I want to take a moment to thank the Third Talk and the State Bureau of Investigation Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force for tackling these challenges head on.
My name is Karen Farrelly, and I am the Executive Director of the North Carolina Center for Safer Schools. We at the Department of Public Instruction fully appreciate and support the joint effort of the Third Talk and the North Carolina Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force.